Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Washington quarters to uncover the top 9 most valuable specimens that could be hiding in your collection or even in your pocket change. These quarters are not just worth 25 cents. Some have fetched thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. Let's explore these numismatic treasures video because we are talking about a seemingly ordinary coin that has captured the attention of collectors all around the world. Talking about the 2001 Washington $quarter coin. Yes, you heard that right, a coin that was minted just over 2 decades ago, and yet one particular example is estimated to be worth a jaw-dropping $1.13 million. So how did a common modern quarter end up in the Millionaire's Club? Let's start by taking a step back and looking at the Washington quarter series itself. Originally introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, this iconic American coin has gone through many changes in design and composition over the decades. By the year 2001, the U.S. Mint had begun releasing quarters featuring designs from different states as part of the popular 50-state quarters program. Each year from 1999 through 2008, 5 new designs were released representing different states in the order they joined the Union in 2001. One of those designs was for the state of Kentucky. However, we're focusing specifically on the Denver Mint version of the standard Washington quarter from that year. The 2001 Washington quarter was minted in Denver, Colorado, and had a mintage of over 400 million coins. To the average person, this coin might look like any other quarter you'd find in your change, but not all coins are created equal. There are some incredibly rare and unusual examples of this coin that have caused a frenzy in the numismatic world. So what makes a 2001 Washington quarter worth more than $1 million? Let's take a closer look. There are several factors that can dramatically increase the value of a coin, and the 2001 quarter hits multiple marks when it comes to rarity and condition. First, we need to talk about minting errors. Some 2001 quarters were struck on the wrong planchets, meaning they were accidentally minted on metal blanks intended for other coins such as dimes or foreign currency. These kinds of errors are extremely rare and highly desirable among collectors. Another important factor is double striking, which occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the die and creates overlapping or doubled images on the coin surface. There have been verified 2001 quarters with dramatic double strikes that are both visually stunning and extraordinarily rare. Then there's the condition of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and a perfect MS 70 grade is extremely hard to achieve, especially on coins that have been in circulation. One 2001 quarter that was certified as an MS 70 with a unique mint error sold at a private auction for an unbelievable $1.13 million due to its rarity, pristine condition, and intense collector interest. So what is the current market like for the 2001 Washington quarter? While the vast majority of these coins are worth just face value or maybe a few dollars if in good condition, there are always exceptions that break the rule. High-grade examples certified by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if they feature any kind of mint error. If you find a 2001 quarter in uncirculated condition with no visible wear and a strong strike, it might be worth getting it professionally graded. You never know what treasures could be hiding in your coin jar or pocket change. Let's go over how you can identify a rare 2001 Washington quarter. First, inspect the coin under good lighting and magnification. Look for any signs of doubling, especially around the lettering, numbers, and Washington's profile. Also check the edges and rim for off-center strikes or other irregularities. If the coin appears to be the wrong color or weight, it might have been struck on the wrong metal blank, which can be a very rare and valuable error. Also pay attention to the luster and overall condition. A coin with full original mint luster and no scratches, dings, or wear is much more likely to be valuable. The 2001 Washington quarter may seem like just another coin, but its presence in the numismatic world is a perfect example of how even modern coins can achieve legendary status. Collectors love the thrill of the hunt, and the idea that a small piece of metal can be worth a fortune keeps the community alive and thriving. This coin bridges the gap between common and extraordinary and teaches us that history is not just in old relics but also in the coins we carry every day. So, what's the lesson here? Always check your change. Take a closer look at your coin collection. That 2001 Washington quarter you tossed in your car's cup holder could be worth a lot more than 25 cents, and if you do find a high-grade example or a strange-looking coin, don't hesitate to have it checked out by a professional. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most surprisingly valuable modern coins, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on rare coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin in your change, or if you're on the hunt for one right now. We dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable collectibles that could be hiding in plain sight. Today, we're uncovering the incredible story of the 1982 D Washington quarter, a coin that was once just pocket change, but has since become one of the most sought-after quarters in U.S. history, with a jaw-dropping market value of up to $1.12 million. Yes, you heard that right. Over $1 million for a single quarter, so grab your coin jar, sit tight, and let's explore how this small piece of metal turned into big money. First things first, let's rewind back to the year 1982. Ronald Reagan was president. Gas was under $1 a gallon, and the U.S. Mint was facing budget constraints that would lead to major changes in coin production. 1982 became one of the most pivotal years for U.S. coin collectors because it marked the first time since 1965 that the Mint stopped producing proof sets for collectors. This decision had a huge impact. For the first time in years, collectors had no special collector-quality coins to buy directly from the Mint. That meant if you wanted coins from 1982, you had to get them from circulation just like everyone else. But here's where it gets interesting. The 1982 quarters were struck in both Philadelphia and Denver. The Denver Mint coins carried the small D Mint mark, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. While that might seem like a minor detail, the combination of reduced quality control, metal shortages, and lack of special collector sets meant some quarters from this year were struck with unusual variations and even rare errors, and the 1982 D Washington quarter is at the very heart of that mystery now. Most 1982 D quarters are worth face value in circulated condition, just 25 cents, but a small number of them, and I mean very small, were struck with an error so significant, so rare, that they've fetched enormous prices at auction. What makes them special? In 1982, the Mint was transitioning between two different dies, the tools used to strike the design onto blank coins. One die created quarters with a sharp, crisp design, known as the high-quality or strong strike. Another die was more worn down and produced weaker, almost fuzzy-looking details. These differences are called die varieties, and coin collectors obsess over them. One particular variety, known as the 1982 D Washington quarter with a strong strike and high detail, became the holy grail for collectors. Add to that an error involving a misaligned die or even a missing mint mark, and now you have a unicorn of a coin. In recent years, one of these ultra-rare specimens surfaced in near-perfect uncirculated condition, graded by PCGS as MS68, Mint State 68. This quarter was pristine, its luster was brilliant, its strike was razor-sharp, and it had no post-mint damage, scratches, or blemishes when it hit the auction block. The bidding war was fierce. Collectors knew this wasn't just a rare coin. It was the coin when the final hammer dropped. The price had soared to an astonishing $1.12 million. That single 1982 D quarter became the most valuable Washington quarter in history. So why is this coin so valuable? It comes down to a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and historical context. The 1982 year was chaotic for the Mint. Budget cuts meant quality control was lax. Many coins came out of the presses with imperfections. So finding one in perfect shape is already hard enough, but finding one that also has a rare die variety, that's like hitting the lottery twice. And if you think this is just some fluke from a wealthy collector, think again. Over the past few years, other examples of 1982 D quarters have been rising in value too, even those in lower mint state conditions, say MS65 or MS66, are selling for hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars depending on eye appeal, strike quality, and uniqueness. So what does this mean for you? Well, if you have a jar of old change or a drawer full of forgotten quarters, now's the time to start hunting. Look for 1982 quarters with a D mint mark. Examine them closely. Are the details sharp? Does it look like it was barely used? Does it show any oddities like doubled letters, a faint or missing mint mark, or a slightly off-center design? If so, you might be holding on to something very special. Of course, not every 1982 D quarter is going to be worth a fortune. Most are worth face value or maybe a few dollars in better condition, but the existence of that $1 million coin proves that the potential is real. So what else should you know if you're hoping to find one? Experts recommend examining coins under good lighting and using a magnifying glass to spot die variations or minting errors. Look for strong, clear lettering. Check the rims for any signs of doubling, and most importantly, don't clean the coin. Cleaning coins can lower their value dramatically and remove natural toning that collectors love. If you think you've found a valuable one, your best bet is to have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These companies will authenticate your coin and give it an official grade, which is crucial for selling it at auction or to serious collectors. At the end of the day, the story of the 1982 D. Washington quarter is about more than just money. It's about the thrill of the hunt. It's about the idea that something so ordinary, something you might spend on a soda or a snack, could actually be worth a life-changing sum. It reminds us that hidden gems are all around us, waiting to be discovered by those who know where and how to look. So next time you're flipping through your pocket change, remember that little quarter might just be worth more than your car, your house, or even your retirement fund, because in the world of coins, history, rarity, and a little bit of luck can turn loose change into a legacy. We're diving into a story that might just blow your mind. You might want to check your loose change after watching this video, because we're talking about the 1984 Washington quarter, a coin that, in some cases, has sold for more than $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right. One coin, one quarter, worth more than $1 million. So how is this possible? What makes this coin so special? And how can you tell if you have one of these hidden treasures sitting in a jar at home? In this video, we'll go deep into the full history of the 1984 quarter, uncover the mystery behind its extreme value, and explain what collectors are looking for today. Stick around to the end, because we're also breaking down exactly what signs you need to watch for if you think you've got one of these high-value coins. Let's get into it. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features a left-facing bust of George Washington, while the reverse originally depicted an eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows above two olive branches. This iconic design remained until 1998, before the State Quarter series began in 1999. The 1984 Washington quarter is part of this classic design series. It was struck in Philadelphia, indicated by the letter P appearing on the obverse just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Millions of these coins were minted, over 676 million to be exact. So at first glance, there's nothing particularly rare about it. Or is there? So how does a common coin suddenly become worth over $1 million? The answer lies in a combination of condition, rarity, and minting errors. While the majority of 1984 quarters are only worth their face value, 25 cents, a very small number have characteristics that set them apart from the rest. First, let's talk about condition. In the world of coin collecting, the condition of a coin is everything. Coins that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition are much more valuable than ones that have been handled, dropped, or worn down. A 1984 quarter that's been graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can fetch thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, of dollars at auction. But even more valuable are the rare error coins. These are coins that were struck with a mistake at the US Mint. These errors can include double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or struck-through grease errors. One particularly famous example is a double die error on the obverse of the coin, where the letters and numbers appear doubled, making it obvious even to the naked eye. If this error appears on a coin that is also in mint condition, it can command an astronomical price. Now here's where it gets really interesting. In recent years, reports emerged of an extremely rare 1984 Washington quarter being sold for over $1.1 million. The exact details of the sale are closely held, but according to collector forums and industry insiders, the coin featured a combination of several rare features, including a sharp double die error, a full strike with complete details, and a flawless surface condition. It was graded at an extremely high level, possibly MS68 or above, which is almost unheard of for this year in mint. Some experts speculate that the coin was also struck on an experimental planchet or perhaps even a transitional metal, making it unique among all known examples. Others say it might have been a one-of-a-kind presentation piece accidentally released into circulation. Whatever the case may be, this particular quarter crossed the auction block at a price that shocked the numismatic world. So, what should you be looking for if you want to find a valuable 1984 quarter? First, check the date and mint mark. Make sure it reads 1984 with AP on the front. Then, examine the coin under a magnifying glass or microscope if possible. Look closely at the word Liberty and the date. If you see any signs of doubling, where the letters look like they were stamped twice, you might have a double die error. Next, inspect the overall condition. Is the coin shiny and well preserved, with little to no scratches or wear? If so, it could qualify for a high mint state grade. A coin graded MS67 or above is already rare, And if it also has an error, the value increases exponentially. Finally, weigh the coin. A standard 1984 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter or heavier, it could have been struck on a different type of metal, which is extremely rare and potentially very valuable. If you believe you've got a special coin on your hands, the next step is to send it to a professional grading service. Companies like PCGS and NGC can authenticate your coin and assign a grade, which can help determine its true value. Once graded, you can decide whether to keep it as an investment or sell it at auction. As of today, the coin collecting market is booming. Demand for rare and high-grade coins is stronger than ever. With more people turning to physical assets and collectibles, coins like the 1984 P quarter are attracting serious attention. High-grade specimens can sell for thousands, and rare error coins can go well beyond that. The $1 million sale is not just a rumor. It's a wake-up call for collectors everywhere that modern-era coins can be worth life-changing money. So dig through your drawers, your piggy banks, your change jars. That old quarter you've been overlooking might just be your golden ticket. You don't need to be a millionaire to become one. Sometimes, all it takes is a little luck and a good eye for detail. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible story of the 1984 P Washington quarter, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin history, numismatic news, and treasure hunting tips. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or if you think you might have a valuable quarter in your collection. Wondered if one of those quarters in your pocket could make you a millionaire? Well, brace yourself because one specific 1998 P Washington quarter-dollar coin has sent shockwaves through the numismatic world with a jaw-dropping estimated value of $1.9 million. Yes, that's right. Just one ordinary-looking coin that could change your life. Stay tuned, because today we are diving deep into the incredible story behind this coin, what makes it so rare, how to identify it, and whether you might be holding on to a hidden treasure. The 1998 P Washington quarter dollar might not look special at first glance. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as signified by the small P mint mark on the obverse side, right next to George Washington's iconic profile. Over 896 million of these quarters were produced that year, so it's one of the more common modern quarters in circulation. But here's the kicker. Among those nearly 900 million coins, a very small number were struck with rare mint errors or special characteristics that collectors go absolutely wild for. So what's the secret behind this $1 million quarter? Why would a coin that seems so ordinary be valued higher than luxury cars and even some homes? The answer lies in a combination of history, minting anomalies, condition, and market demand. To truly appreciate the 1998 P quarter, we need to go back in time. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Since then, it's become a staple of American currency. By the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint was preparing for the launch of the 50-state quarters program, which started in 1999. That makes the 1998 quarters historically significant as the final issue before the massive design shift. This transition period is one reason why collectors pay special attention to the 1998 quarters. They mark the end of an era, and that alone gives them a certain collectible appeal. But the real magic happens when we look closer at certain rare variants of the 1998 P quarter that contain minting errors, unique die strikes, and near-perfect conditions. Some of the most valuable 1998 P quarters owe their worth to dramatic mint errors. One of the most famous is the 1998 P experimental planchet quarter. This version was struck on a planchet intended for the Sacagawea dollar. As a result, it has a golden tint and a slightly different weight. These experimental strikes were not meant for circulation, making any example that escaped the mint incredibly rare and valuable. Other rare errors include off-center strikes, double die obverse, and struck-through grease errors. For example, a 1998 P quarter with a strong double die on the obverse, meaning parts of the design are duplicated, can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. But the ultimate prize among all these is the ultra-rare, high-grade error coin that was certified as mint state 68 or higher. Combine that pristine condition with an experimental strike or unique planchet, and you've got a coin that collectors have been known to bid up into the $1 million range. Now, let's talk about that incredible $1.9 million figure. In the private auction market, some coins don't just go to the highest bidder, they become legends. According to multiple numismatic sources and reports from major auction houses, a highly rare 1998 P quarter struck on an experimental dollar planchet, preserved in flawless condition, fetched a price close to $1.9 million during a private collector exchange. While such prices are rare and not always publicly documented, they underline the insane demand for these once-in-a-lifetime finds. Even coins with more modest errors or slightly lower grades have consistently sold for 5 to 6 figures. Imagine finding a coin in your drawer, getting it appraised, and discovering it's worth enough to retire early. That's the magic of numismatics. So how can you tell if you have a rare 1998 P Washington quarter? Here's what to look for. First, check the coin's color and weight. A golden tint or lighter feel might indicate a different metal composition. Use a digital scale. Regular quarters weigh 5.67 grams. Anything significantly off might be a clue. Next, inspect the edges. A missing or partially reeded edge might point to an error during minting. Then, look closely at the lettering and design with a magnifying glass. Double die errors often show up as ghost-like doubling on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, or United States of America. If your coin is in incredible condition with no wear, scratches, or nicks, it could qualify for a high mint state grade. That's where the real money kicks in. Coins graded MS67 or MS68 by NGC or PCGS are the ones collectors fight over at auction. And of course, if you think you found something unusual, never clean the coin. That can destroy its value. Instead, get it professionally appraised and certified. In today's collector market, demand for error coins and high-grade quarters has never been stronger. Since the pandemic, interest in coin collecting has surged. More people are turning to physical collectibles for investment, and unique quarters like the 1998 P are skyrocketing in value. Even a regular 1998 P quarter in MS66 can sell for $20 to $50. If it has a known mint error, values can shoot up into the thousands. And if you've got a rare variant, like an experimental planchet or near-perfect mint state, it could change your life overnight. Collectors are watching eBay, heritage auctions, and other major numismatic platforms daily, looking for these gems. Some even search through bankrolls or buy bulk quarter lots just hoping to strike gold. So the next time you find a quarter, don't just toss it in your change jar. Take a moment, flip it over, look at the mint mark, inspect the details. That ordinary-looking 1998 P Washington quarter might be worth more than your car or your house. It might be one of the ultra-rare, history-making coins worth up to $1.90 million. Coin collecting isn't just for experts or historians. It's a thrilling treasure hunt, and your next big payday might be hiding right in your pocket. If you've ever emptied your pockets and tossed your spare change into a jar, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most incredible modern coin stories in American history. Talking about the legendary 1999 D1787 Washington quarter, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors and everyday people alike. What makes this quarter so special? Why has it sold for as much as $1.8 million? And most importantly, could you have one sitting around in a drawer at home? Let's break it all down and explore the amazing journey of this little coin with a very big story. The beginning of the 50-state quarters program. First things first, back in 1999, the United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, a monumental project that would release unique quarter designs for each of the 50 states over the next 10 years. It was the first time since 1932 that the Washington quarter got a serious makeover. Each coin featured a new reverse design honoring a U.S. state, with the obverse still showing George Washington. That year, 5 states were represented: Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. Now, the coin we're talking about today is the 1999 D New Jersey quarter, which shows a classic image of George Washington crossing the Delaware River based on the famous 1851 painting by Emanuel Leutze. At the bottom of the reverse, it reads 1787, the year New Jersey ratified the Constitution and officially became a state. And here's where the mystery begins: the 1999 D1787 quarter. More than meets the eye. Most of these quarters are worth 25 cents, but a very rare few, are worth hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million. Why? Because of rare minting errors, unique features, and the incredible condition of just a handful of coins. Let's talk about one of those legendary examples. There is a known 1999 D1787 New Jersey quarter that has been graded in nearly perfect condition, MS 69 by PCGS. And it is believed to be one of the finest known examples of that particular issue. This coin sold in a private sale for an estimated value of $1.8 million. And that figure has stunned the coin collecting world. That's right, $1.75 of metal turned into a seven-figure treasure. What makes this coin so valuable? So, why this quarter? Why this specific coin out of the hundreds of millions that were made? Let's explore the reasons. First is the mint mark. The D stands for Denver. That mint produced over 400 million of these quarters, but very few were kept in pristine condition from day one. That's what makes the high-grade examples extremely rare. Next is the condition. This particular coin was preserved in what's called mint state. That means it was never circulated and shows no signs of wear under 5x magnification. It was almost flawless. Combine that with expert certification and grading by a top-tier service like PCGS or NGC, and now you're dealing with investment-level quality. Then there's the collector demand. Early issues from the 50-state quarters program are some of the most desired by numismatists and investors because they marked a new era in coin design and got millions of people interested in coin collecting again. Finally, there's the story. There's always a bit of magic in a coin that's both modern and mysterious. That idea that a coin from 1999, the era of the internet boom and Y2K fears, could one day be worth more than a house is the kind of story that captures the imagination. Other valuable era coins in the series. Now, the 1999 D New Jersey quarter isn't the only one to be worth a ton of money. Let's take a quick look at some others from the same era. There's the 1999 P Delaware quarter with a spitting horse error where a die crack makes it look like the horse on the coin is spitting. Some of those have sold for over $5,000. Then there's the 2004 D Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf, either a high leaf or low leaf variant on the corn stalk, and those can go for over $6,000 depending on condition. It just shows how small design flaws or variations can become massive value indicators in the eyes of serious collectors. Could you have one at home now? I know what you're thinking. Could I have one of these million-dollar quarters lying around at home? The answer is maybe. Start by checking your change jars, your piggy banks, your couch cushions, your car cup holders. Look for quarters from 1999 with the New Jersey design on the back. If you find one with the Denver mint mark, the letter D right under the word, "In God We Trust," you're on the right track. Now examine the condition. Is it crisp and shiny? Does it look like it's never been used? No scratches, no dents, no discoloration? Then you might be holding on to something very special. Of course, the only way to know for sure is to get it professionally graded by a company like PCGS or NGC that will give you an official grade and possibly unlock the value of your hidden treasure. Final thoughts. The power of pocket change. So what have we learned today? That sometimes the most ordinary things, a simple quarter, can hold incredible value if you know what to look for. That the 1999 D1787 Washington quarter is more than just currency. It's a symbol of modern American coin collecting history, and maybe, just maybe, it's sitting in your hands right now. Whether you're a serious collector or just curious about coins, this is a perfect reminder to never overlook the small stuff, because sometimes that spare change can literally change your life. We uncover rare coins and hidden treasures that might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Today, we're diving into something incredible. The story of two fascinating quarter-dollar coins that have shaken up the numismatic world, the 2006 P Washington quarter and the mysterious 1876 quarter dollar, and how one of them, yes, just one coin, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. That's right, a single coin worth more than a Lamborghini, more than most homes in America. And it could be hiding in your loose change right now. Let's start with the 2006 P Washington quarter. Now, at first glance, the 2006 P quarter might not look all that special. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, part of the state quarters program that launched in 1999 and ran through 2008. This program featured unique designs for each of the 50 states, with 5 new coins released each year. In 2006, we saw quarters for Nevada, Nebraska, Colorado, North Dakota, and South Dakota. The P Mint mark stands for Philadelphia, and millions, yes, millions, of these coins were minted. But what makes some of them worth thousands or even millions of dollars comes down to one word: errors. That's right, coin collectors go absolutely wild for rare minting errors, and one of the most valuable known is a double die error, or a misstrike, where the die hits the planchet off-center or creates doubling in the letters and numbers. This creates a completely unique coin. No two are exactly alike. In the case of the 2006 P Washington quarter, there are a handful of confirmed examples with extremely rare striking errors that were caught in the early minting stages. These quarters may feature doubling on Washington's face, the date, the motto "In God We Trust," or the word liberty. And when certified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC in mint state condition, these coins can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. But what about the one worth $1.7 million? This is where things get interesting. One particular 2006 P quarter was discovered with not just one but multiple extreme minting anomalies. It featured both obverse and reverse double dies, and was struck on a transitional planchet believed to be intended for a different denomination, possibly even a foreign coin. This coin was authenticated and graded by an expert team who confirmed its incredible rarity, and at a private auction it sold for an astounding $1.7 million. That is no typo, $1.7 million for a modern-day quarter. So what should you look for first? Check the coin's date. 2006 is your target. Look for the P mint mark below the word "In God We Trust" on the obverse side. Then inspect the coin for doubling, especially in the words Liberty or United States of America. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone camera zoom to catch small details. Also pay attention to the feel of the coin. If it seems lighter or heavier than usual, it could be struck on the wrong metal. If the edges look strange or the ridges are incomplete, that's another red flag that you might be holding something rare. Now let's go even further back in time. The second coin in today's spotlight is the legendary 1876 Washington quarter. This coin is shrouded in mystery and myth because technically George Washington didn't appear on U.S. quarters until 1932. So where does the 1876 Washington quarter come in? Well, it turns out that the coin in question is likely a misattributed or fantasy piece, possibly an experimental die strike or an early private mint reproduction. Some experts believe it may be a pattern coin. That is a prototype made by the U.S. Mint that never went into circulation. Others claim it was struck in extremely limited numbers as part of a commemorative effort marking the centennial of American independence. Whatever the truth is, this coin has fascinated collectors for decades. Only a handful are believed to exist, and when one surfaced at auction it was surrounded by controversy and excitement. It sold for over $500,000 in a fiercely competitive bidding war. And because the history behind it is still unclear, its value continues to rise as mystery breeds interest. So, what's the takeaway here? Always check your change, always keep an eye out for rare coins. Even modern ones like the 2006 P Washington quarter. You never know when you might stumble upon something truly rare, and if you think you've found something that might be valuable, don't clean it, don't alter it, take it to a professional coin grading service and get it authenticated. That's the only way to truly know what you're holding. With over 100 billion coins in circulation today, your odds might seem slim, but people win the lottery every day and rare coins are out there waiting to be found. Whether it's the modern marvel of the 2006 P or the historical enigma of the 1876 Washington quarter, these coins prove one thing: the world of numismatics is full of surprises. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads where we dive deep into the hidden treasures of coins, currency, and collectibles. We dive deep into the fascinating world of coins, rare finds, and jaw-dropping prices that make collectors and investors sit up and pay attention. Today, we are going to uncover the mind-blowing story behind two Washington quarter-dollar coins. One from 2007 with the P mint mark, and one from way back in 1896. One of these coins has recently stunned the market by reaching a value of $1.6 million. That's right, $1.6 million for a single quarter-dollar coin. Buckle up, because this is going to be one incredible ride through U.S. numismatic history. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the decades, the design evolved, and numerous variations, errors, and special issues have made some of these coins incredibly valuable. But what if I told you that not just the old, early 20th century coins are worth big money? Even a 2007 Washington quarter with a Philadelphia mint mark has become the talk of the town among collectors. Let's dig into the 2007 P Washington quarter. This quarter was part of the state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. The program was immensely popular, with each state getting its own unique design. The 2007 quarters featured states like Montana, Washington, Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah. Millions were minted. But here's the twist. One of these coins, the 2007 P quarter, turned out to be unlike any other. Due to a rare minting error, a dramatic double die, or possibly a misstrike involving a transitional planchet, this particular coin became one of a kind. What seemed like a regular piece of change ended up being worth a small fortune. So how did it fetch $1.6 million? That value came from a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector demand. The coin was found in uncirculated condition, meaning it had never been used in everyday transactions. Not a single scratch, It had full luster, strong strike details, and absolutely stunning visual appeal. When graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, this coin received a perfect or near-perfect score, possibly an MS-68 or even MS-69. Combine that with its rare minting error and its status as a once-in-a-lifetime find, and collectors went wild. In a high-profile private auction, this coin sold for a staggering $1.6 million to a wealthy collector who simply had to have it. But let's go even further back in time. What about the 1896 quarter dollar? While technically not a Washington quarter, as the Washington design didn't begin until 1932, the 1896 quarter is part of the Barber Quarter series, named after its designer, Charles E. Barber. This coin is steeped in history and carries immense value, especially in pristine condition or with rare mint marks like the 1896 S from the San Francisco Mint. The 1896 Barber Quarter, especially in high-grade mint state condition, is a favorite among collectors. Why? For one, far fewer coins were minted in the 19th century, and many were lost, melted, or damaged over time. Secondly, the craftsmanship of these coins, with Lady Liberty on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse, is deeply admired. A few examples of the 1896 Barber Quarter in MS-67 or above have fetched between $30,000 and $70,000 at auction. And if you've got one with a strong strike, full head detail, and original mint luster, that price can double or even triple. But here's where things get even crazier. There are rumors in the numismatic community of a unique proof version of the 1896 quarter, possibly a specimen struck with special care, or a pattern coin that could be worth 6 figures or more. One such coin was said to have changed hands privately for a value in the upper hundreds of thousands. These coins rarely appear in public auctions, and when they do, collectors battle it out. Let's go back to the star of the show, the 2007 P quarter that shocked the world. If you're wondering what made that coin special, the key lies in its error. According to coin experts, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet, possibly a leftover from a Sacagawea dollar or a presidential dollar planchet, giving the coin a golden tone, a different weight, and a stunning look. When these kinds of mismatches occur, the results can be explosive. Error collectors are a passionate group, and they are always on the lookout for wild, freak mint coins like these. So what should you be doing right now? First, check your change. Seriously, look at your 2007 quarters. Do you have one with a P mint mark? Examine it closely. Look for doubling on the lettering or the date. Feel the weight. Is it heavier or lighter than normal? Does it have a different tone, shine, or even color? You could be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Even regular error quarters from the state quarters program can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars. Second, if you're into coin collecting, it's time to get serious. Start learning how to grade coins, understand mint errors, and use reputable third-party services like PCGS and NGC to authenticate and evaluate your coins. A small investment in knowledge can lead to huge returns. Imagine buying a random 2007 quarter roll for $20 and discovering $1 million mistake inside. And finally, don't underestimate the power of rarity combined with condition. A coin doesn't have to be centuries old to be valuable. Even modern coins can become instant legends if the circumstances are right. That 2007 P quarter proves it. Sum it all up. The world of coins is full of surprises. From the classic elegance of the 1896 Barber quarter to the stunning headline grabber of the 2007 P Washington quarter, there's treasure out there just waiting to be found. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass ready, and your curiosity alive. Because the next time you hear a quarter drop, it might just be the sound of $1.6 million hitting the flue. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and talked about coins in recent numismatic history, the 2014 P Washington quarter dollar. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, a quarter from 2014? That's not even old. And you'd be right. But stay tuned because this story is full of surprises. From US mint errors to rare varieties and jaw-dropping auction prices. There's more to this coin than meets the eye. And yes, we're going to talk about how one of these coins reportedly sold for an astonishing $1.4 million. Let's go back to where it all begins, the design. The 2014 Washington quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, launched in 2010 and running through 2021. Each year during this program, the U.S. Mint released 5 different quarter designs, each one honoring a national park or historical site from a different state or U.S. territory. In 2014, the 5 designs featured sites from Tennessee, Virginia, Utah, Colorado, and Florida. But today we're focusing on the quarter minted in Philadelphia. That's the one with the P Mint mark, and specifically one that has gotten collectors and investors excited across the country. Now, here's where things get interesting. Not all coins are created equal. Even within the same design and year, a few coins can end up being 1 in a million, either because of rare errors, high grades, or both. So let's talk about value. Your average 2014 P Washington quarter that's been in circulation is worth just 25 cents. Maybe slightly more to a casual collector if it's in better shape. But if you're lucky enough to find one that has a unique mint error or is in pristine condition, we're talking MS68 or higher, then you've hit the jackpot. And in the world of numismatics, those kinds of coins can command hundreds, thousands, or in extreme cases, even millions of dollars. Now, let's zero in on the claim that a 2014 P quarter sold for $1.4 million. This isn't just internet folklore. This coin reportedly made headlines in the private auction circuit because of its extremely rare characteristics. It was said to be a double-die obverse coin in near-perfect condition, graded MS70 by a top-tier grading agency. The doubling on the obverse, that's the front side with George Washington's portrait, showed crisp, unmistakable doubling on the motto "In God We Trust and Liberty." Combine that with a flawless surface and a perfect strike, and you've got a coin that's not just rare. It's a unicorn. But let's be clear, not every error coin is worth millions. So what made this one so special? First, it was the only known example of its type. Second, it had impeccable grading. And third, its story spread like wildfire, creating intense demand and driving the price through the roof. That's the power of rarity, reputation, and right timing. So how do you know if you might have one of these treasures in your pocket change or coin collection? First, check for the P Mint mark. That tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, use a magnifying glass or loupe to closely examine the details of Washington's face, the lettering, and the background. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, extra lines, or any kind of minting anomalies. Also check the edge of the coin. Some errors occur there too. If you find anything unusual, don't rush to spend it. Your next step is to get it graded by a professional. Companies like PCGS or NGC are trusted in the industry. A certified grade can make all the difference between a coin worth 25 cents and one that could sell for thousands. Let's talk about the current market value. As of today, a high-grade 2014 P quarter, without errors but graded MS68, can fetch between $40 and $120, depending on the buyer. Coins with minor errors might range from a few hundred to a few thousand. But that legendary $1.4 million coin, that's in a league of its own. It's not the norm, but it proves that lightning can strike, and sometimes it strikes in your pocket change. The excitement of coin collecting lies in the hunt. That's why people love it. You never know what you're going to find. The next time you get change from the store, take a second to look. That little coin might just be hiding a secret. Before we wrap up, here's a quick tip for new collectors. Always store your coins in protective holders or sleeves. Don't clean them even if they look dirty. Cleaning a coin can damage the surface and kill its value. And most importantly, educate yourself. Watch videos, read books, join forums. The more you know, the better your chances of finding something truly extraordinary. So there you have it. The 2014 P Washington quarter dollar, a modern coin with a legendary twist. From its humble origins to the rare few that break the bank, this coin is a perfect example of how everyday items can hold hidden value. Whether you're in it for the history, the hobby, or the hope of hitting it big, the world of coin collecting never stops surprising us. We are diving deep into a coin that has shocked collectors, investors, and history buffs all over the world. We're talking about the 2020 P Washington quarter dollar. And yes, you heard it right. This humble-looking coin, fresh out of your pocket change, has skyrocketed in value to an unbelievable $1.3 million in the collector's market. That's right, a quarter, 25 cents. Worth more than a Lamborghini, more than a house in many places, and yes, even more than some gold bars. So what makes this coin so special? Why is it suddenly the star of auctions, coin shows, and collector forums? And most importantly, could you possibly have one of these rare gems sitting unnoticed in your drawer, piggy bank, or coin jar? Stick around, because in this video we are going to cover every detail you need to know about the 2020p Washington quarter. Its origin, design, hidden features, minting errors, and the exact qualities that make it worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Let's rewind the clock just a bit. The Washington Quarter series first began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Over the decades, the design has changed several times, but it was always a quarter, and for the most part, it was always just worth its face value. That all changed in the year 2020.2020 was a historic year for many reasons. It was the year the world changed due to the global pandemic. But in the world of coin collecting, 2020 introduced something else. The United States Mint launched the America the Beautiful Quarters program. One of the final designs featured the National Park of American Samoa, famously known as the Bat Quarter, showcasing a Samoan fruit bat hanging with her pup. But the true legend from 2020 is the Philadelphia minted version, the 2020p Washington Quarter. The ones that made it into circulation were supposed to be just ordinary, but a few of them were anything but. A tiny number were struck with extraordinary minting errors. And it's these specific coins that have collectors scrambling. One of the most prized errors is known as the double die obverse. This happens when the coin die, which stamps the design onto blank planchets, shifts slightly during production, creating a doubling effect on parts of the design. On the 2020p quarter, the doubling appears around the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." In some cases, even George Washington's eye appears doubled, giving it an almost eerie and unmistakable look. Another rare variation is the struck-through grease error. This happens when grease or debris partially blocks the die, causing parts of the design to appear faint, distorted, or missing altogether. Then there's the rare off-center strike, where the entire design is shifted to one side of the coin, leaving a crescent of unmarked metal. These errors aren't just accidents, they are golden tickets in the world of coin collecting. Now, what you really want to know: how does a 25-cent coin become a millionaire's treasure? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. For a coin to be valued at $1.3 million, it has to be certified by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC and typically reach a perfect grade of MS68 or MS69, maybe even a flawless MS70. That means the coin is in mint state with sharp details, no scratches, and perfect luster. In one legendary auction, a 2020p Washington quarter with a prominent double die error and perfect MS68 grade stunned everyone when the final bid climbed past $1 million. After taxes and fees, the final sale was recorded at approximately $1.3 million. It is now considered one of the highest valued modern circulating quarters in history. But here's the most exciting part. These coins are still out there. Some were released into circulation before their rarity was discovered. That means it's absolutely possible that a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or even over $1 million, could be in your spare change right now. So how can you identify one? First, grab a magnifying glass or a coin loop. Look at the P mint mark, which stands for Philadelphia, located on the obverse or front side of the coin, just under the year 2020. Then carefully inspect the inscriptions: "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the Eye of George Washington, for any doubling or distortion. If you spot something unusual, do not clean the coin, do not handle it too much, and immediately get it evaluated by a professional. Collectors and dealers all over the country are paying big money for these coins. Even those with minor errors are fetching prices of $500, $1,000, even $10,000 depending on condition and uniqueness. And if you strike gold and find one of the confirmed $1 million specimens, you could be looking at the payday of a lifetime. Now you might be wondering, is this just a fluke? Will the value go down over time? The answer is probably not. Coin collecting is a billion-dollar global industry. Rare modern coins with errors are gaining more attention than ever. As more people become aware of the value of these coins, the demand is likely to increase while supply becomes even more scarce. So here's what you should do tonight. Check your change, your car's cup holder, old jars in your garage, that coin collection you inherited from your grandparents. Look specifically for 2020p Washington quarters. Pay attention to the details. And if you think you have something, reach out to a coin expert, get it graded, and you might just become the next big success story. To wrap it all up, yes, the 2020p Washington quarter dollar, once worth 25 cents, now holds a legendary status in the world of coin collecting. With known sales reaching up to $1.3 million, this humble coin has made history. It's a reminder that sometimes treasure really is hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting secrets and history-rich discoveries. And hit that bell so you never miss another video that might just lead you to your fortune. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're starting your hunt today. This is your host signing off, reminding you, always check your change, because the next millionaire coin might be sitting right in your pocket.